Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, the largest international curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you decided to join us to watch some of the top teams from around the world participate in this event. My name is Jesse Hamonic, and I'm the Vice President and Country Head of Nutrien Ag Solutions Canada. Like farming, curling brings our communities together, and Nutrien Ag Solutions is committed to promoting the diversity of sport within the communities where we work and live. We're so grateful to the Western Showdown team for allowing us to partner with them to bring you this event, and I want to wish you all, the teams, a safe and successful event.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown. We're so glad you've decided to join us to come see some of the world's best curlers participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the Branch Director for RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're also proud to support the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown, as RBC is committed to working with our community to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the community in which we live. Thank you to everyone on the organizing committee for putting this great event together, and on behalf of RBC Dominion Securities, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Yeah, but nothing else really, like just a bunch of practice. Same with you guys, or?
Yeah, we're done. We're done till end of January, which is a pretty big break.
It's a long break, yeah.
Yeah, the last few years we had provincials sort of like the second week of January, like sort of like the maybe like say 8th to 15th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but this year, because it's like a non-Olympic year, not impacted by COVID and stuff like that, it's back to its original slot. That's like 21st to 28th of January. So it's a big break, but yeah, I got mixed doubles too.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you guys won't have to play the Quebec playdowns either.
Well, yeah, no. There's already 14 teams qualified.
Yeah.
From various ways, but so there's only 2 missing. It's a 16-team triple. So.
Okay, cool. Well, it looks like we're on air, so welcome back to the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. We don't have the screen in front of us right now, but I have the stream pulled up on YouTube, so our commentary might be a little bit delayed, but we'll try to get that fixed. We have Team Hollie Duncan throwing the Red Rocks versus Team Hasselborg throwing the yellow. I'm Sam Steep, joined by Felix Aslan.
Hey Sam, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Excited. It's the first time doing this.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't have a ton of experience. I got to do the Ontario Tankard last year commentating, but and then a few games this week so far. But it's been fun. It's been a lot of great curling. Looks like an early advantage for Team Duncan, drawing to sit 3 in the first end. Looks like Anna Hasselborg's throwing a hit and roll under their center guard.
Where are you even watching it? I don't have any video.
I'm watching it on the YouTube stream. I just pulled up the YouTube stream online. But we're just experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties with commentating, so we might be a little bit behind.
I got it on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
See what we can do.
And looks like Anna makes the hit for 1, so it'll be a 1-0 lead for Team Hasselborg after the first end. We'll be right back.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we are back. Looks like we have a great game going in between Duncan and Hasselborg. Duncan throwing the red rocks, and Team Hasselborg throwing the yellow rocks. I am Sam Steep. I am joined with Felix Aslen. Welcome, Felix.
Hey, Sam. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to commentate this game. Looks like it's been a good one so far.
Yeah, and rocks in play right away.
Yes, Team Duncan from Ontario, I know them quite well, and they are not afraid to play with a lot of rocks in play and make a lot of nice freezes and draws. So that's looks like they're taking full advantage of that so far.
So I'm assuming the first end was a forced to Hasselborg?
Yeah. The first end was a force for Hasselborg. They started with hammer. They won the draw to the button, but only took one in the first.
All right.
So Duncan being 1 and 2, I'm not 100% sure what their shootout score is, but this is a must-win for them to keep their playoff hopes alive, and same with Anna Hasselborg being 1 and 2. I'm not sure what the playoff.
Do or die for both teams.
Do and die for both teams, and I'm not even sure if 2 and 2 will be good enough to qualify. But if it is, it's a must-win. No, great freeze by Team Hasselborg there.
Yeah, especially without hammer, it was starting to look pretty red in there.
Yeah, if that's not made, you're looking at all of a sudden you're looking at 3 or 4 red come vice skip rocks. So great shot by Sarah. Looks like Hollie Duncan is asking Megan to unlock those rocks. Just tap the red one to the side forefoot and stay frozen on the yellow. So I believe 10 teams make the playoffs on the women's side. The teams that are seeded 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th will have a play-in game to see who makes the quarterfinals. So it's a way to keep less teams get eliminated by shootout score because of that, which is I think is a good format.
Yeah, do you happen to know if they qualify X amount of teams per pool, or is this just combined rankings? Because that can make a difference.
I believe it's overall. So
Okay.
the shootout will matter, but at least they're bringing 10 teams in, and less teams will be eliminated because of the shootout.
It's always good when you don't eliminate anybody on the shootout.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that is frustrating as a player, and losing because of a draw to the button score and not because of a game. That's why I'm a big fan of the triples, the triple knockouts. But sometimes you have no choice with if you're holding both men's and women's events together with draw times and stuff. It's difficult to run 2 triples at the same time.
Pretty interesting end already. There's only 1 rock out after, I don't know, 12 of them.
Yeah.
So somebody will score.
Yeah, there's no blank coming here.
It's
Team
still that
Hasselborg-
yellow, as much as it's kind of guarded, still pretty lonely.
It's a very scary to guard that because, Team Duncan does have that double run back for 3 or 4
I do think they're adding another yellow in the
yeah.
rings here. I don't think this is a guard. So
yeah, it's a good call.
First and maybe third shot after this, or second and third at the minimum.
Yeah, it might even be better to go all the way to the back one if needed, just to takes away those two reds as counters. Big shot for Sarah McManus as this team is getting ready for the Grand Slam coming up.
A lot of teams here this week are also playing next weekend at the Grand Slam, so it makes for a pretty strong field.
Yeah, you see that at a few events a year. Normally the European teams come over early to play more than one event while they're over here, so it does make a lot of sense for them. And it's good for us because all of a sudden you're in swift current playing against some of the best teams in the world. So pretty well executed shot by Sarah McManus, getting half buried behind that red guard.
That second yellow, like we said, is pretty key to make sure that no big end can be scored with a big shot from the Duncan team. Right now, at least it's looking a bit like a force. Get hammer back.
Yeah, this end quickly flipped from being advantage Team Duncan to pretty good setup for Team Hasselborg right now to get the force. Be a pretty tough deuce right now. Looks like Team Duncan is discussing whether they want to unlock that top yellow or not.
I mean, right now it could be a tough one, but it's looking like just a draw for two on the edge of the forefoot. We don't have to push play as much as yellow it is second and third shot. You don't need to right now at the push, but you don't want to see that red rock removed at any point because then you'll be facing with a lot of yellows. Yeah,
I mean, when you grow up and you're learning strategy, the first thing you learn is to not throw a center guard with hammer, but it's a little tempting to just guard that yellow tap. But
seems like they're opting to throw another one and another rock in play.
Yeah, if this is made, they'll be sitting two in relatively good spots.
Tight.
Oh, it looked like the weight was pretty close.
I just looked tight on line.
Yeah. It kind of worked out for them, tapping that red into guarding that shot rock.
That's a pretty interesting way of throwing a guard.
Yeah.
Still looking dicey though for that for that red rock. It's been there the whole end, but
I think Anna has a couple of options. She could... Looks like she's guarding her yellow rock, so there's no hit and roll.
I'm not sure I would be guarding her. I feel like you're essentially probably giving like an edge of the forefoot draw for two, which is risk-free.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not sure how you can make much progress of sort of removing the red rock. Maybe with a short run, I don't know, but
it's a little scary to play the short run. If you ever hit it the wrong way, you could be staring at a lot of reds on your last one.
Might be the easiest play to just get hammer back and move on from this end.
Yeah, tip your cap if she makes a wide draw for 2, and take hammer back and take full advantage of that. That's probably what Anna's thinking.
I feel like this is almost like a setup where you're hoping the other team, regardless if you're Duncan or Hasselborg, throws a hit so that they'll move stuff around, and then you might have an easier shot than what you currently have. There's that draw that I was talking about. You can lie to right away, and I'm not sure what can really be done. Maybe the run again, but you could lie to here.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't look at like the back line through the hole to sit 2 as well onto that yellow, because that guard did over curl for Team Hasselborg. This is probably
you do that though. You do not want to touch that red rock.
Yeah, there's no risk, like you said, for this shot. So.
To the edge of the 4-foot, they're taking almost edge of 12 with a fairly good rotation. So the ice is pretty swingy. That's good to see.
Yeah, they told all the curlers that they did touch the rocks before the event, so there is a lot of late finish. This is looking a little heavy.
Oh, great line if it stops in time. I think it did.
I think it did sit for second shot. It does leave Team Hasselborg a freeze. With the perfect line, they might even be able to get shot rock.
Yeah, or at the very least, second shot, and then there won't be that draw again. But if they come anywhere short or not in the 4-foot, Duncan could probably play that port that you talked about, and then they could probably roll in for 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's one of those. Big shot here, not to go.
It's a big shot, yeah. The nice thing for Hasselborg is they probably would have gotten a time on Hollie Duncan's first shot, so they should have a pretty good guess of what this path is doing.
Yeah, down the same path too, so sometimes that can, as much as you do have a time, you feel like throwing the same speed, but then it could be faster a second while going down the same path.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you gotta watch out. Working hard on this one. Oh, just short.
Comes up an inch short. It's on a great line.
Yeah. Pretty sure we'll see Duncan play that port that you talked about. It is for 3.
There's virtually no risk if you throw like a back line kind of weight. They're also, I don't know how much weight Hollie could throw, but You could see the in off the red and upwards to the forefoot. If you could ever throw enough weight.
I just think that shot's harder.
I agree. I think the hole is a lot easier.
Plus the port, you could probably put your sweepers in play, you know, try and make a big team shot for 3, whereas like the big in off, you're probably hit or miss just off the throw.
Yep.
So now they're looking at both of them, so.
Just how much it finishes at the end, I think this is absolutely makeable with the backline to hack weight through the port.
You might even be able to squeak by the yellow and overcurl.
Yeah. Yeah, you could probably nose it.
Yeah. You probably need like some amount of weight, like something like hack weight to try and get sort of straight through that port, or else you might just nose that rock and.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Hollie wasn't convinced. Megan pointed at the port a few times, but to no avail. Skipper sees the in off a little more, so that's what they're going to throw.
This one is always also risk-free, so it's a free shot for 3. If not, you always get your due. So regardless of what happens here, it's a good result.
Yep. Yeah, and there's a little bit of leeway. If she hits it a little too thin, she could bounce off the back red and spin up, or she could just make the straight hit and roll over. So I'm assuming this is going to be a decent amount of speed coming here.
This could be our first hit at the end.
The first rock that gets eliminated.
Yeah. Unless that other yellow was a hit, but.
Yeah, one eliminated rock.
Gonna need to curl.
It almost curled up for them, but not quite. It looks like 2 red on our overview. They might have to take a look.
There it is. I think it's going to be a deuce for Team Duncan.
No, so Duncan takes a 2-1 lead heading into our 3rd end. We'll be right back.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet. And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial. Financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Team Duncan has taken a 2-1 lead after 2 ends over Team Hasselborg. And looks like both leads have started this end up to perfection. very common strategy, especially early in the game when you have hammer on the odd end, to draw around the center guard that's thrown other than being aggressive and throwing a corner guard. Perfect freeze from Tess Guyot.
A pretty good start by the Duncan team. That yellow might have slipped a little deep. It's still in front of the tee, but I would suggest that you probably want that to be like top 4 so you can have more room.
Yeah, I agree. Full forward. That case, if you do trade freezes and nobody blows it up, you'll still have a draw to edge a button for 2. This way, after that freeze is made, if you're not throwing any runbacks, you're gonna have to draw a button for 2, and a good chunk of it.
That's also a good shot. If they ever move them around, they probably remove the red rock and lie to.
Yeah, a great angle that they left there. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Team Hasselborg throws the run back. If this red one curls up anyways.
Looking like another good one.
Yeah, hard to complain about 5 made shots so far this end.
They're looking at hitting this. I'm not sure if they're trying to run, but you could just remove your back yellow by doing this, and then there's 3 reds left in the ring. So you gotta watch out for what angle you take. And the broom is off the rock, so it's not like they're gonna throw a pretty big weight. They might just be hitting and rolling off that guard.
Does look like they might just be hitting and rolling to a corner guard.
Yeah, because I don't see it being great angles for removing red rocks in the rings. There you go. So they just rolled off.
Yeah.
To a corner. But now Hasselborg's got 2 yellows in the rings and a pretty good corner guard. So if they ever just blast the middle, then they could probably just use the corner guard for the rest of the end.
Yeah, I don't think Duncan's strategy should change much. Just keep throwing that center guard. It's Team Hasselborg that's going to have to do something with those rocks first.
Maybe on the next one they use more weight now that they do have that corner.
Yeah. It's probably...
that red rock top button is currently going absolutely nowhere. And so hard, and the other 2 on top of it, so it's not a good necessarily angle for Hasselborg to move them all around.
Trying to make this rock curl. It needs to fully cross center. Doesn't quite cover the whole rock, but enough of it.
I think it covers the good side, so...
Yeah. Yeah, no choice but for Agnes to throw the run back or the peel.
This one's got more weight, so I think they're going to try to move them around. Or maybe they're just feeling it.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're going to have to make some kind of run back, but you're right, the angles aren't very good. They might, if they were going to do it, it got to be on vices first. Just so you have enough rocks to be able to make a couple of doubles after the run back is made.
I feel like this is a pretty interesting start to the end, meaning that I think both leads would be rewarded with 2 perfect throws on this, but I feel like that with the fact that Hasselborg went right around that center guard, they're the ones in trouble.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's weird to accept your 1 point, but not sure what else they can do. They could throw a back line to Hap and roll under the corner, just like they kind of called. They won't be shot rock anymore, but they'll at least unlock the stones.
It's one of those where the team that's without Hammer is very happy to just keep throwing that guard. Hollie Duncan does not need to create anything in this end so far. It just needs to just keep guarding it, and until Hasselborg moves them around a bit, maybe they get a better angle. But for now, I think they're really happy to just throw guards. But Hasselborg seems to be wanting to move them around now, so the angles will change.
Yeah, I think they're hoping to hit and roll under that corner guard. It's interesting that top red one is fully buried behind the guard right now.
Well, pretty good line. Something will move.
I think that's the best you can do with the weight they decided to throw. They changed the angles up, where now that red on the button will at least get off the button if you throw the run back.
You think you could play that double off the 2 yellows with the one that just rolled?
I do think you can make that. I really don't think it'll hurt you. Yeah, I don't think it'll hurt you either.
No. Can't hit any red rocks by doing that, so.
No.
I think it looks still really good for red.
Yeah, I agree.
Now Duncan is looking at trying to just force and get Hammer in fourth, which we all know is an even end, but also like she'll have flipped the Hammer at that point if it's a force. It's essentially like she just, if they do, it's essentially like you win the toss.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge win to be able to flip the Hammer like that so quickly in the game. It's a big advantage.
I guess they're going for that double.
Yeah.
A lot of ice for private 2/3. Guess it does curl. Or maybe they're just rolling. That's tight on that guard.
Yeah, it does tend to move a lot inside out. Just a lot of finish.
Looks like she might have got that one going and just a pad.
Yeah.
And like you say, if it's on the curly side and you get it going, then it's gonna really make a big difference. I don't know that it hurts them too much because they still to this point can't remove that red rock.
Yeah, the angles are still really good for Duncan. I'm surprised with how patient Hasselborg is with the angles. Like I feel like she knows that those angles need to change for them to score more than one.
There, removes the guard. Also takes away that biter, which doesn't look like much, but could be, you never know, like if Duncan makes like a hit here and then you can make a hit right back, maybe you do get away with a blank. Those blanks could creep in pretty quick at times. Removing that little biter is Doesn't look like much more than peeling that guard, but it's actually much better this way.
Yeah, I agree, and I did see Anna look at it before she even called the shot, so she kind of knew that as well. It's, you know, with how good curlers are and how much weight they can throw now, you can get rid of three or four stones with one shot now. So Team Duncan deciding whether they want to put the guard back up or play the double.
I think I like the guard, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're not looking at the guard more because, like you said earlier, the angles are still very good for red or for Team Duncan. There's a reason why they're appealing.
That yellow on the side forefoot is actually a catcher for that top.
For the top red one. Yeah.
Like that red rock is technically like sandwiched right now, and it can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Anna's for sure thanking Team Duncan right now for playing the hit because it's almost a get out of jail free card right now. Hollie Duncan settling in the hat to make this double and sit 2 on the button.
Also curling hard. Up nose.
I think it rolled far enough away that there's no red double.
And now you could hit the top 8 red rock and you would get that top button red rock moving. I'm not sure you'll remove it completely, but you could get it to move.
Yeah, it could make your one a lot easier if you decide to throw the high hard one down the middle.
Quite scary right now that if Hollie makes a play somehow and removes that shot rock, you never know if he'll have something to even score.
Yeah, that's the scary part about not throwing the high hard one.
Seem to be going for the hit and roll. Maybe they can lie to that way.
Yeah, I thought they looked at maybe even nosing because if Hollie decides to nose, they'll might have a double for 3 or for 2 if the red can squeeze through that hole there. Oh, just over curled for Anna, and she hits and rolls out.
Now what do you do?
Yeah, decision time for Duncan. You can throw up the guard and make Anna draw side button for 2, or you could throw the tap on those reds and B-shot rock. You don't necessarily need to throw a lot of weight at it.
You might open your red rock if you do tap though. Like it'll maybe move to the left side and be wide open. So I'm not sure at this point you want to move them around.
Yeah, and a force in the third is a really big, as we talked about earlier. So yeah, throwing a corner freeze, try to block their draw path really is probably the call.
Probably could throw a corner guard almost and block the draw.
Yeah, you can put the guard right where the broom is in the top 12. You can put on the R of brand work. So a lot of leeway with this shot. There's a lot of ways you can miss it in the right spot anyways.
I feel like by throwing this, you could probably get a worse as just they're drawn for 2, which is already a hard shot. But if you do try to move them around, you could probably give them a gimme for 2.
Yeah, I agree. So I think putting this in the top 12 blocking the draw path is probably the best call.
You might see Anna just throw it away, or if there's no shot. Those are oddly weird to make because you tend to overcurl and still give up the draw a lot of times.
Yeah, a lot of times these can overcurl and do nothing for you.
Yeah, which this seems to be the case. You're almost better off. I know you wanted it to be on the right side of the center line, but you're almost better off throwing the in turn and have it cross center that you can get enough distance, because this is technically not guarding anything.
Yeah, the drop path is still there. It didn't do anything. You're right. If you took the other turn, you could have. If it overcurls a bit, it still takes away the drop path. So, just
it's
not
a hard
quite
draw,
enough.
but it's draw for 2, so to get the lead right back.
Last rock in the third end for Anna Hasselborg. A draw to the button for 2.
You got to think she'll be close to making this.
She did win the draw for hammer, and I sure draw times have changed a little bit, but you're right. She's going to be awfully close.
Leapers are on and off of it, so they're close. Line seems good.
Oh, and came
up
up
a little
just
short.
Just a few inches short, so it'll be a tie game, 2-2 after the third end here at the Nutrien Egg Solutions Western Showdown. We'll be right back.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
So we are back for this fourth end in a 2-2 tie between Hannah Hasselborg and Hollie Duncan. And after 3 ends, Duncan has actually managed to force Anna Hasselborg to 2 singles and scored a deuce the one time she got hammer. So we've flipped the hammer around. Duncan is now tied with which it started tied with for Hasselborg. So a good start to this game for Hollie Duncan's team, and they look to score 2 here and take a lead for the first time in this game, or at least like a 2-point lead. And Hasselborg will try to, at the very least, force or get a steal in this 4th end. This isn't. When you get to the 4th end of an 8-end game, you start looking at stuff like even ends and odd ends, and when you have hammer, stuff like that. So we're starting to get into the crunch time of this game. Nice shot here, a little flop from that red rock, which leaves the yellow barely buried. No choice but to freeze to it. But that red rock is still in play. You could try and make it score at this point. You know, you'll have 2 reds in the house. You have hammer. There's only 1 guard. So that red rock could still be a big bonus for the Duncan team. And this is going to crash on that center guard very slightly. It doesn't move off of the center line, so it gets to stay there, but had it moved away from the center line, if it wasn't touching it anymore, you would see the teams replace it with this year's new rule, the no-tick rule. Once you get a guard in the free guard zone for the first 5 rocks, the opponent team cannot move it. But it's okay, it stayed on the center line, so we don't have to do anything. One's coming in nice. The top button, nice freeze. Pretty sure you'll see the Duncan squad peel, or at least make a run.
Definitely advantage Team Hasselborg early in this end.
With that last draw coming up short and crashing on that center guard, it's definitely an advantage to the Hasselborg, but it's still very early. Being in a good position early in an end can sort of backfire at times. Because you feel confident about it and you start guarding your own rock, and then you make a half stone and the other team is able to capitalize on it, and then they're sitting well late in the end. So but this is already a good start, that's for sure, for Hasselborg.
Big shot for Rachel Strybosch to unlock those yellows on the top button. That's exactly what she does.
Probably sets up a double too from Boat Rock.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
There would be a double for Duncan to light 2 right now.
It's really important with that run back is they left those reds not staggered, so they'll be able to run their own color back in after the straw is made.
Yeah, you're a skip, Sam. Is there anything worse than seeing overlap guards?
There's nothing worse than overlap guards.
There seems to be nothing you can do once those are overlapped.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. You just have to peel and hope your opposition leaves you a shot in the end. Draw coming a little deeper than they wanted. Still above T-line.
Probably good though, because you probably need to run again.
Yeah, I agree. I still think it forces Team Duncan to play the exact same run.
If you hit a dead nose, you can make the yellow double and probably live first and third. Really precise. Maybe get the side one instead. Oh, it was sneaky.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things that could happen with that run back. Obviously didn't make the called shot, but now there's 2 reds in there, and Anna's guarding.
Could play the red double and just lie 3. But considering that Duncan has now flipped the hammers and is kind of controlling the scoreboard, I think that Anna Hasselborg will look at just replacing that guard and keeping the pressure on.
Yeah, I really do think Anna Hasselborg is thinking steal right now, the way things are set up. A steal in the 4th end would give you a big boost in chances of winning, percentage-wise anyway.
Guard is well played, pretty high, so that's good.
Yeah, pretty perfect. If you can catch this red one thin enough, it could go right back into the yellows.
All you don't want to happen is the yellow to stick into that red rock.
Yeah, thick is no good.
Well,
that's gonna work out for them.
This is a really good result.
Yeah.
They've opened it up a bit. The yellow rock you could chase at this point, or you could. You're a miss away from scoring 3 at this point.
Yeah, it's a pretty aggressive to call the guard. I mean, some teams might play the hit on the back red one right now, but still too many rocks for Team Duncan to be able to make a hit and roll under a corner guard and sit shot rock. So I think the guard is the call. Sarah just made one.
It's definitely the more aggressive call.
Yeah.
Which they seem to have made that choice every time since the beginning of this end.
Yeah, I still think Anna's thinking steal, no matter. So it's one of the main reasons why you play this.
Looking fairly good. Like there still needs to be a lot to happen for Hollie to get more than 1.
Yeah, and this coming a little deeper than they wanted.
Be tempted to almost flip that top one and roll another red in the rings.
Yeah, if you can hit and roll or make the double across the face, and you really want to try and move that yellow off the top button.
Actually, there might be a weight that you can make both of those. Like you could probably make it over the top and then roll it on the edge there.
Big sweep for Rachel Strybosch to try and touch the rock.
The other way around, maybe? There we go. There's another red in the rings again. Now there's 3 reds, and red does have hammers, so.
Yeah.
But scary times if you're yellow.
Yeah, one of the reasons why they are having a little bit of a team huddle, because really scary to not draw another one in or play a hit now. I didn't mind the first call drawing to the full top 8 put. Make sure your second shot.
I think it's probably the best result that you can make is to be second shot behind that guard. But it is a fairly precise draw. There's a lot of spots where you give up a double or you come up short and they can make a move into removing your yellow, and then problems are starting to show up.
Yeah, the guard is a little risky for sure. It looks like that's what they're calling.
You know, as much as it could end up to be a steal, if you're lying only 1 on the last draw, there's all sorts of ways of removing that yellow with all the red guards and the top 12 even that one is also a way of removing that yellow. So like you see, if yellow is buried by the end of this end, you'll see Hollie Duncan try a big shot for a big score. And it's essentially like a free chance to take a you know, like try and win this game. You're looking at maybe scoring 3 or 4.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I think that if they were gonna go down this path, they might as well bring it up 8.
Especially with that red guard being so high. Any hack waiters you can make with how much curl there is. There's angle runs, like you said. So this guard does have to be perfect.
Yeah, they didn't look at it, but you could also just hit the second shot, the back and light too.
Yeah, I do believe Anna mentioned it once anyways, but yeah, you could hit and roll or hit sit 1-2.
That's a good guard for that yellow, but there are all sorts of runs. Run the center guard in, the red center guard.
Yeah, I'd be really tempted to throw the red center in there.
Well, if you're going to send anything in there, you might as well send that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yellow.
It's a long run. It's a pretty high guard, but
I think it's worth the risk.
Yeah, for sure. I think it is. And
make that shot, you lie 4 with hammer.
if you float it a little bit, make the double peel, maybe a red sneaks into the rings, gives you a different angle. That's good too.
That's a pretty interesting call. I kind of like it. You can, you could probably hit something like a third of that red rock. It'll go spinning down into the rings. It could maybe even get through the shot rock, but it could also just stop in the ring somewhere, and then there's no more center guard, and there's 4 reds in the rings. I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, it does look like that's what they called.
Unless they're playing that run back with lightweight, but that's not the ice for a big peel, so they might be going for what you said.
Seven rock. Skips first for Hollie Duncan.
There you go. Another one in the rings. And a nice angle, too. You could use that rock as well.
And not a lot of fun options for Team Hasselborg. They could play the red double and leave a semi-steep double for 2 or 3 for Hollie Duncan. Could freeze the pocket, but that is all or nothing.
You must have heard all the steep curling jokes before, haven't you?
I actually don't mind that call that they're pointing out right now. If you can make the hit and roll, nudge your yellow over to the other side of the 8-foot maybe. And sit 2 with the ring split.
With the amount of red rocks in the rings, at this point I think that you're looking at trying to find a spot where there is no double off your yellows.
Yeah.
For a bunch. Or at least if you remove 2 and you give up a double that rolls your shooter out, maybe you only give 1 or 2 at the 2 at the most. Which I think at this point you might want. You might not want to give up just 2.
Yeah, you'd still be in the game if you only give up 2.
You're a half shot away from almost being game over.
Yeah.
Almost freeze down those 2 as well if you really wanted, if you were desperate enough. I'm not sure you are, but Don't you think that if you nose that red rock, the double of the 2 yellows could maybe go back into the back 12 reds and kind of save yourself that way?
I was thinking that if you nose it and you somehow miss the back red one, if you could,
or at least get only one of them.
Only get one of them out, then yeah, it probably would jam. You tried the double.
I do not know what they ended up choosing. Oh, okay. Well, they're hitting.
They're hitting. Looks like they're lining up red across the face, nudge their yellow back to the back 8 foot, and roll their shot rock to the top 8 foot kind of thing. Or the nose.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to keep the 2 yellows away from each other.
Very.
When the thrown rock will collide with the top button rock, they're gonna want to stick to each other almost, and you do not want to give up an easy double there because it could be for a big pile.
Yeah, this is a big shot in the game for Anna Hasselborg as she throws her last in the fourth end. Looks really close.
Good result. That's as good as it gets, I think.
Well executed shot. Absolutely, it's perfectly buried behind the red and forces Team Duncan to make a hit against 2.
How things have changed, right?
What a great shot! Yeah.
That's a game saver right there. If she doesn't make that, it's the angles turn out different. Also for the red rocks at the back, I think it would have been a pretty easy double for 4. Or 3 at the very minimum. Right now, it's the hit and stick for 1. You still need to make this to even score.
Yeah, you worked so hard to keep the advantage in the game, and now you have a must. Gotta nose this rock. Last rock in the 4th end for Hollie Duncan. A hit and stick for 1.
Got this going pretty early. It's not on the undercurl side.
Oh, it stops just in time. That could have been a big momentum shift. So Team Duncan takes a 3-2 lead after 4, and we'll be right back after this.
I've got the bill.
Well, now I've got the tip.
Standard tip increased 2% this year.
That's why I keep you around. So, corn's looking great.
Well, our crop plan is working.
And we locked in that input financing at the perfect time.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet. And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. We have Team Duncan leading 3-2 over Team Hasselborg. Team Hasselborg has hammer in this fifth end and a game-saving shot in the fourth by Anna Hasselborg on her last rock.
Yeah, that looked like a 2 or a 3 for the Duncan team just about until the very last moment where Anna rolled to the perfect spot. There was nothing they could have done at that point, so it was a hit and stick for force. Would you like me to run you through all the other scores there, Sam?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
All right, so on sheet A, we've got the Chinese team of Han playing against Schwaller, and Han is up 1 into the 6th end, so they're an end ahead of us. But Xenia Schwaller out of Switzerland's got hammer. On sheet C, we've got the Michelle Jeggy team out of Switzerland. Like I said, they're up 2 without against Adita Pettersson from the States. On sheet D, we've got Silvana Tiranzoni and her European champion squad in a 2-2 tie with Corin Brown. Corin Brown's got the hammer in the 5th end. Satsuki Fujisawa and Robin Silvernagle are also tied at 2-2 in the 5th end. The team from Japan has got the hammer against what is probably the hometown favorites. And on the last sheet, which I think is the 6th sheet, is that it? I think so. Clancy Grandy just scored 2 to still trail 5-2 against Serena Gray Withers out of Alberta. So strong start by Gray Withers there. They're up 3 with and 5.
Yeah, that's the university champions, and they also play a lot together on tour, so they're a great team. A great tick by Team Hasselborg and Sophia to the rock wasn't quite on the center line, so they made it a fantastic tick and created 2 corner guards. I don't know about you, Felix, but I get excited when I see a tick now that now that it's not allowed if it's touching the center line.
I know they've become such an easy shot to make, I guess. Or not easy, but the leads got so good at making them that we needed that no tick rule. But now that it's also pressure on the leads, because if you do not touch center line, you could get punished for it, and then the other lead gets a chance to picking the guard. But it puts a premium on throwing that guard on center line, which you didn't see before. But I kind of like it. I really do like that rule.
I really do enjoy it. I think it's more entertaining for fans, but as a player, I really do enjoy it as well. It creates more rocks in play and creates more angles and a lot more fun shots being made. And you don't feel as bad when you're tied without in the last end. As long as your lead is an absolute shooter and can make his guards on the center line.
Yeah, and the other thing I've realized too by playing this season is you used to be so used to everybody takes your guard in the later part of the game if they're winning, but now it's sometimes the guards don't even touch center line. They're close, but they don't touch, and the teams aren't even trying to tick them. We sort of got conditioned not to anymore, so they sort of forget about them and just maybe throw a rock top 4 or something like that. But you know, if the other team doesn't touch center line, you can make them pay and tick.
Yeah, just like what Sophia did in this end.
Now we have 4 corners.
Yeah, plenty of corner guards for Anna Hasselborg in this end. And with that red-yellow not being locked together like they were in the third end, there's a little more leeway for Team Hasselborg to be a little bit more patient and doesn't necessarily need to make a run back right away.
I gotta say, I'm a little surprised that Hollie Duncan not hitting that red rock into the yellow, which is a fairly simple run back.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a game of cat and mouse right now, and you don't necessarily want to do it too early, and then all of a sudden there's a blank end. But you are playing with fire if you leave it there too long.
Also, that if you ever over curl this on the wrong side, they could probably chase the red rock and then lie to it all sorts of corners around. You know, as much as Hasselborg would like to have hammer and six being an even end, but you know they'll gladly take two if it's presented to them.
Yeah, they absolutely will. They no team will turn down a deuce, I don't think, in any end. So I think Team Hasselborg is going to wait to see if Hollie Duncan's team. Oh wow! If Hollie Duncan's team's blinks first, that was a little unfortunate the way that ran into the center red one.
Yeah, it opened everything up, and it also sort of rolled the reds to good spots. You can't really go behind those yellow corners to the right side anymore.
Yeah, you cut off your own corner guards. That was the unlucky part. You kind of knew that those reds were going to ricochet in there, but just see how they turned out was a little bit unlucky for Team Hasselborg. Megan Duncan trying to hit and stick to sit 3.
So now that they've rolled to another one in the 8-foot, would you agree that they need to change gears?
Yeah, I think Hollie Duncan is now looking for the force, trying to stay away from those corner guards. And
I was more talking about for Hasselborg.
Yeah,
on at this point and try and get 2 out of it.
Tempting to draw around the red in the top 8-foot, put it corner frozen to the back 4. Also tempting to make, if you can make a double on Vice's rocks, you could set up for a skips deuce.
I think they're still trying to hit this so they can get away with it with a blank, because force is the worst option right now for.
Yeah, I think they want to make a double.
Yeah. Force is the worst at this point.
Yeah, I think they still believe they can get out of this end. I mean, you can make a double and roll over to the other reds, so could group the rocks up after this shot.
The cross house double instead? Yeah, just a little too thin. Now the 2 reds are spread apart. Really starting to look like this could just be a fairly simple force.
Yeah, that's a unfortunate miscue from Sarah McManus there.
I think that's why I would have looked at trying to draw one at this point. I think it was starting to get real late for the blank. I think they could have looped around the top 8 rock, B-shot rock, and you could get a deuce out of it, and that you're forced anyways. That cross house was not easy, and it was still leading to maybe a force.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, obviously, execution-wise, the shot was missed, but it was tough you would have to have make at least 2 doubles to get out of this end.
And you only have 3 rocks left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
the last rock you're going to roll out on, so you only really had 2 rocks to make 2 doubles. What would you say is the ideal spot here?
I think the ideal spot is almost exactly where it was. You could be full 8-foot over more a little bit, but you don't want to set up a triple.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you. I think that It's more about what are the bad spots than what are the good spots.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't throw right now, there's a pretty flat double or a flat hit and roll over to try and group the stones up. Anna's probably going to play the freeze if you don't throw at all. So you kind of want to block the freeze by putting this in the top 8 foot. I don't know if I would put it right where Megan's broom is. That's pretty close to leaving a triple if you leave it right there.
It is very close.
Pretty good sweep to even get that into the rings by Tess and Rachel. There is no triple, but it does give Anna Hasselborg a draw to the top 4 foot to have a chance at a skips deuce.
Okay, I feel like the difference between this shot and the previous shot is that regardless of how good Anna Hasselborg makes this draw, Hollie Duncan will have the run back right. Whereas before, she could have drawn around that edge for sort of top 8 rock, and then they could have got a deuce out of it, regardless of what Hollie Duncan did.
Yeah, I agree with.
If you draw top 4, it's a 4 foot run back. You're almost expecting the other team to make those.
Yeah, I agree. I think when this team was at their best, a couple of years ago, and they were winning everything, it was when Wayne Madaw was coaching them, and Wayne would come out on timeouts and tell them the next 3 shots. He was kind of a machine that way, and maybe missing that a little bit because I agree with you. I feel like they're at least 1 shot too late in trying for their deuce, because now they're just hoping for a miss if this draw is made.
And not just that, if you draw around that top at 12 rock to the top button and they stick that run back, now all of a sudden you're shooting against 3 and one of them is in the 4 foot.
Yeah. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're drawing the pin against 3, just like you said. Yeah, it's interesting.
Anyways, at this point, I don't think there's much other choice to play. They pretty much have to go for this anyways.
Yep. Draw the top 4 foot and hope Hollie Duncan misses the short run is your options now, and at least you get a practice draw for your 1 if this isn't made perfectly.
On a good line. Does it have enough weight? Comes up short. We don't even have to hit this yellow.
No, it's been the story of the game so far for Anna. Her draw weight has came up 3 or 4 inches short on each draw so far. That one a couple of feet short, but just doesn't quite have the touch right now. Her draw weight.
Pretty lucky she didn't hook any piece behind because she's probably going to need that yellow rock if Hollie makes the wraparound.
Yeah, I think where Megan Balson's broom is perfect. If you can put this half buried full top 4, you're going to be in a pretty decent spot to steal all of a sudden.
So let me ask you then, if she draws to that spot where it's like half buried and you can't really chase it, do you hit that left red rock and try and give it 1?
It's tempting for sure because the yellow tap to the 4 foot isn't easy, and when you're struggling with draw and tap weight, it's tempting just to throw the hit and roll for 1 or at least hit and stick to only give up 1. That is a tempting shot for sure.
Because the steal of 1 here is obviously not great, but having hammer and sticks, so 2 hammers against 1, kind of compensates a bit for the steal.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you were going to give up a steal, this would be the end to do so. You could take 2 4s and 7, and take 2 and 8 for the win. This draw is coming in really nicely for Hollie Duncan.
Pretty much what they asked for. And we're going to see what they're going to do with it, but we've pretty much reached that decision.
Well, that was a great shot. I don't think you can place it any better. Anna has to play the hack, weight, tap, run back, and just missed that top red one. If she wants to score, I think that's the only shot to score.
Oh, definitely, yeah. We need to hit this on the good angle because there's all sorts of holes around that red rock that you could just punch it through, and you'd be giving up at least 3 if you do that.
Yeah, looks like they're discussing the hit and roll. If you throw a lot of weight, you could bite the top of the back button and score 1. But like we said, or like you pointed out, giving up 1 is not bad at all. I think with a team as good as Hasselborg, I think you give up the steal of 1. And it looks like that's what they're playing.
Are they trying it with like peel weight?
Yeah,
Can they
looks
roll
like
to the button?
Looks like they're throwing peel and trying to bite the back button for 1.
Okay, because you still need to hold this into the rings, or else you're giving up 2.
That's the scary part. Yeah, if you hit the
I would have said to throw. I would have said if they go to that just throw like control and roll it to the forefoot, give up 1 and move on. But they can score 1. That way it's tough earned, but at least oh, there it goes.
Yeah, peel weight shot. Last rock in the 5th end. This needs to curl up.
That's a
It
steal
looks
of
like
2.
a steal of 2, and Team Duncan takes full control of this game, going up 5-2 after the 5th end. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good, and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nutrien Egg Solutions Western Showdown. A big steal of 2 in the last end for Team Hollie Duncan, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, and now backs against the wall for Anna Hasselborg. Both teams in a must-win to have a chance of making playoffs.
Yeah, now in the 6th end, the Hasselborg is going to have to push to try and get at least the multiple score, even at the very, very least, a deuce here, because you're trailing by 3, and you know that the second you score, they get hammered right back. So you need at least 2.
Yeah, you don't like to look ahead while you're a curler. You want to focus on one shot at a time, but in the situation you're in, you need to go deuce force 3 or 3 force deuce for the win kind of thing. So they definitely would like to score more than 2 points this end. A pretty good shot from Sophia. A little bit of an overcurl. They wanted to be more on the red one, but still a good shot.
I don't know if this center guard was by design, but if it is, I'm surprised that up 3 Duncan threw a guard on her second rock. I think guards at this point are pretty much, they all look yellow even if they have a red handle on them.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they called that on the first shot. The commercials were in the way of seeing that. This red one needs to curl up or not going to leave a great angle.
Bit of a pocket.
Yeah, that wasn't not a good miss for Team Duncan there. Like you said, a red guard is almost like a yellow guard. It's the same as leaving a pocket. That's just Team Hasselborg just said, thank you very much. Because now it's going to, if this is made perfectly, it's going to take at least 2 shots to get this yellow out of the rings.
Good shot.
Yeah, great shot.
Definitely starting to be a bit of an opening for Hasselborg after the first few rocks of this end. Probably time to run that red guard and try and move the yellows around.
Yeah, I think you have to throw the red run. You'll at least eliminate 1 yellow and you'll get that other yellow unlocked.
If you hit it perfect, you might even see the top yellow spin right back up.
Yeah, it looks like Megan Boston's going to look at the angles. As Rachel Strybosch waits in the hack to throw the run back. I think you have to throw the run back. I mean, a little scary to throw a corner freeze or a draw in the top 12. If this ever overcurls, all of a sudden Hasselborg's going to have a hit to sit 3.
If you're the coach in this situation, you're starting to have a bit of a heart attack.
This isn't a very aggressive call to call this up 3 in the 6th end.
It can work, but at the same time right now, Anna's got a hit and that could probably remove both red rocks. This is coming in a little deep, which probably isn't that bad.
That's actually going to work out quite well.
Not sure that's what they were going for.
No, I don't think so. I think they just wanted it in the top 12. But it's going to work. Anna has to unlock those stones now.
Again, though, even if it did work, I think Anna's pretty happy to see the fact that she's got 2 guards. She'll probably have 3 yellows in the rings after this shot, and then none of them have been removed so far. So, a lot of rocks in play. I think they'll be happy about it.
Yeah, when you have 3 yellows in play this early in the end, you're going to be quite happy.
Need to get to at least nose in this one. You can't roll off and get a hit. But if you can get low, or at least nose, it's pretty good. Which is, she'll get at least nose. There we go.
That's a pretty good shot. Messy. Yeah. It's pretty hard to eliminate any yellow without losing a red as well.
Probably the only thing you could do is like hit a sliver of the one they just threw. Not sure that's great though, so. Team Duncan is in trouble here. As much as they're 3 up, they are in trouble.
Yeah, I think Team Duncan is in a decent amount of trouble right now. It's hard to eliminate every red right now, but yeah.
I think if I was deciding here, I think I would be playing that red guard into the side forefoot, trying to relieve the pressure. Because right now you can give up a big end if you keep going, and if Hasselborg keeps on clucking some yellow rocks and they get good angles.
Yeah, I do like that actually.
Guard. If you run that guard into the side yellow, you also roll the guard away, and then you're sitting shot, so the second they move them around, you'll probably have a double or something like that, and you probably get, giving up 2 here is good for Duncan. They need to remember that.
Yeah, they need to know. I mean, their goals, if they had a goal for this end, is 2. Max was giving up 2. And I think you're right. I think running that red into the yellow, the side yellow in the forefoot would be a great shot. It looks like they're looking at the red slash into the yellow in the top forefoot, which probably isn't even going to eliminate a single yellow stone if you play the red yellow. If you're thinking about slashing, you should almost slash the top yellow into the side yellow. Pretty thin, but pretty confusing situation they got themselves in.
It rarely happens when you see a team up 3 taking this much time to decide on what shot because they're in trouble. Are they throwing a guard on this?
Yeah, I do think they're guarding. I think, in my opinion, it's not a bad way of trying to get out of this end. If Team Hasselborg doesn't make some good run backs, you might end up winning the game right here. Very aggressive, but
it can work though. Like a good guard here leaves Hasselborg with not too many options of ways of removing all the red rocks.
Yeah, I think if this is made, you're going to see Hasselborg run that red one in the tight guard zone into their yellow and try to eliminate some red stones now.
On a good line. Guess it does the trick.
Yeah, called it made, but you could see 3 reds leave if this is made perfectly. If you can make this just off nose.
I think you can make a triple out of this, and there might only be 1 red left. And if you nose, there's still that yellow guard. Your thrown rock will stay as a guard.
Yeah.
I would say dead nose right here. And again, like if they make this, the yellow rock that's currently top 12 will be behind the red rock that Hollie Duncan just threw. It'll act as a guard on a yellow rock.
Yeah, this is a shot, a big moment in the game here. Sarah McManus in the 6th end.
Could be the game here. Not some big weight.
It's a great shot.
It leaves another red in the 8-foot though. So for now, there's 2 reds still outscoring that top 8 yellow. Man, this is trouble still for Hollie Duncan. Needs to make something. I think it's one of those ends where if it works out, they'll forget about it instantly, but if they ever give up a big M here, they'll have to look at this one again, because I don't know about throwing guards and freezes when you're 3 up and 6.
Yeah, I think, are they throwing the red into the side yellow here?
I think so, yeah.
Big shot.
You can't hit half rock here or else all the yellows stay. Maybe a little less than half, but you can't crash either, so you gotta be precise with this.
Big sweep by Tess to get this by the top yellow.
Oh, it actually touched it.
Yeah, the curling gods are smiling on Team Duncan right now. It did rub off the guard and still made the called shot.
If that had touched it anymore, no yellows were leaving the rings. It's looking a bit better for Duncan at this point. Hard to see the rocks when three people are.
Yeah, that's hard to see the rocks though. It looks like you could throw a hack waiter maybe and nose that yellow and try and get shot rock here. They're calling board, it looks like. I think the other option is you could hit that back red one in the back 8 foot or like draw in somewhere else. You don't necessarily need to play this on Sarah's last.
Yeah, I think I like what you're talking about. I think I like it. I think this is going to be hard to begin with to even move the red rock. You're going to lose a lot of weight. But you could also punch all the yellows wide open and give up a pretty easy double. But if it's made, they'll be shot and there'll be 2 more yellows beating. Or sorry, with one more, only one more red in the game.
Yeah.
You need to get pretty close to that guard.
Yeah, another big shot in the game for Sarah McManus. This rock needs to curl a lot.
Can you send it into the back red? Is that doable? No.
Not quite. That was a pretty tough shot.
It was, yeah. I for that reason, I think I like your shot better.
Yeah, either that or like split the yellows and try to create space to create more angles for a chance for 2 or 3.
Looking like an end where Hasselborg can squeeze 2 out of it.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely 2 on the table. I think Hollie Duncan's going to guard for. I mean, if she makes 2 perfect guards, it could very well win her the game.
They're throwing a sort of long guard here.
It looks like it. They're throwing like a 1 guard. It's interesting because they're throwing it on the side where the high guard. It could be tough to get behind that high guard. Looks like they're just throwing a 1 guard zone.
It's not a crazy amount of ice. If it starts curling a little bit and it's got like say guard 2 kind of weight, it could over curl and leave their yellow wide open. Sweeping this, so
big shot for Team Duncan here. Have to guard the hole. This looks like it's curling quite a bit. Called and made for Hollie Duncan.
Yeah, that's the perfect spot. It's long and it's blocking both sides of that hole.
Yeah, decision time for Team Hasselborg. You know, you have all you have left are 20-foot runbacks, 15-foot runbacks. So they're just deciding which rock they want to run in there.
We're looking at running, I think, the yellow rock because it's a yellow. But the angle off of that top 4 yellow isn't great from that angle. Like, it's easy to lose one of them.
That's what I was just thinking. It's not the best to throw your yellow in there on skips first. This isn't the last shot of the end, so pretty tempting to make that red double peel. You might even get lucky and touch that yellow in the 3 guard zone into the rings.
Although if you make the double off the 2 reds, how would you even score 2?
Yeah, fair.
Because you can't nose that top 4 yellow for a second point. You're not outscoring that other red rock. So.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think she has to throw this. I wouldn't be whipping it. I'd be surprised if she is. I imagine if you could throw a lighter weight like control or a light normal and hit that top yellow and keep your shooter and the yellow in the rings.
It's just very hard to keep the top 4 yellow and the run yellow in the rings because the angles are sort of offset. Yeah. So I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, but we'll see. Give it a minute. This is close.
Looks very close. Looks like they might have just missed the line call.
Oh, and he even touched it even touched that other guard.
Touched the other guard and doesn't move the back red far enough. Red is still sitting first and third for Team Duncan. And now they know really the only shot is to run that yellow one. I wonder if they're going to guard that. Don't know how. It's a 1 guard.
Yeah, and the angles got even worse. It rolled off a bit. So just to update everyone, we've got the first final of this game, which is on sheet 6. Serena Gray Withers with a big 10-2 win against Clancy Grandy in 6 ends. So that was a pretty big game and ended on a steal of 4 for Gray Withers. So
yeah, a bit of an upset there.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. That keeps Serena Gray Withers with the chance of making playoffs, moving to 2-2 and bringing Clancy Grandy down to 2-2.
I think all the 2-2 teams are all hoping for more 2-2 teams at this point.
Especially if you have a good shootout. You want to have as many 2-2 teams as possible.
There's a lot of undefeated teams still, so that tends to leave more room for 2-2s to make it through.
Yeah, 5 teams that are undefeated.
Well, every pool still has an undefeated team.
Yeah. Including Jolene Campbell, which is great for that new team. They just joined together this year.
Yeah, that's right. Am I reading this well that they're playing out of Manitoba?
They are. That's what it says anyways, in Curling Zone. That could make the Manitoba playdowns quite interesting. Last shot for Hollie Duncan in the 6th end. Looks like they're trying to draw in to sit. Second shot. Going to go a little bit too deep, but is a perfectly frozen third.
I actually think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, it looked like
I
it.
think they were just lobbing another one in there for security.
Yeah, the way they're sweeping, it looked like that's what they're calling, and it leaves Anna Hasselborg this in off for 2. They did motion off the red into the back red, but I don't see that action ever getting you 3. But a steep in off for 2 and to save the game for Team Hasselborg and to save their playoff chances.
That's right. The game's on the line and the tournament's on the line at this point. It's a weird angle because you're hitting from one rock higher than that red rock, and you need to avoid touching that top 4 yellow. You need to just get under that one if you want to stick it.
Yeah, this is a very tough shot.
The one thing helping will be the spin.
Yeah, the spin will keep it a bit lower and try to hit the back of the red rock and stay. It looks like they might be changing the shot. I did see this. You could throw a board waiter through the hole, try to cross the face on the yellow and make the run back, short 2-foot run back for 2. I think there's just enough room to make it. I think it's just really hard. I think that red that's shot rock probably jams on the red in the back, so it'll only be for 1.
Yeah, you really do need 2 at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's good that Anna has gone all the way back down to look at it, because it's very hard to commit to such a big shot with precise angle without going back. Sort of reset, try and refocus on making maybe a different shot. Sometimes you stick to the same shot, but
yeah, I agree with you. I think a lot of teams when they're younger, they change the shot and they don't go back down to look at where they need to hit it. A lot of younger skips, so it's important to learn that.
Although they didn't change shots, they're sticking to this one.
Yeah, I think Sarah pointed at the back red ones, saying that it would jam if they played that shot. So this is the only shot for 2.
This is your best chance.
Yeah, this is the only shot for 2.
A hard one, but it's your best chance.
Yep. Last rock in the 6th end, Anna Hasselborg. This needs to curl.
It's going to be a little slim.
It's going to be a steal of 1 for Hollie Duncan to take a 6-2 lead after 6 ends. Not sure if this would be handshakes. I think
you play it out. You can grab 3 and 7.
Yeah, I agree. I think with playoffs on the line, you got to keep playing, and that's what they're going to do. So we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet. And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial. Financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. We have Team Duncan leading Team Hasselborg 6-2 in a must-win to keep their playoff hopes alive for both teams. So, Team Hasselborg continuing to play. They do have hammer down 4. They're going to want to score at least 3 in this end to keep their chances of winning this game alive.
Yeah, I think you're all out in this end at this point. You don't mind if you give up a steal, but you need 3. 2 isn't really going to cut it. You really, like at this point, it's at least 3.
Yeah, 2's not going to cut it. You're absolutely right. They decide on the split corner strategy. I had this conversation earlier in a different draw that I'm not the biggest fan to split corners. I do like the corner on the same side of the sheet. Being down 3 in the 7th is a little bit of a different scenario, but was wondering what your opinion on the stance is.
I think it depends on maybe the situation.
Yeah.
The problem with the stacked corner guards that I see is if the other team can ever see the tight corner guard and peel only that one once they're allowed to peel, you're left with a guard that's kind of useless because it's too high.
Yeah.
So you really got to make sure that they cannot hit the tight corner guard.
Yeah.
But if you successfully guard with a long guard, your sort of tight guard, that's a lot of guards in the same sense. You can successfully do that. You've got one side of the sheet that's fully wide open, so you can draw on that one for like your last point. And you also have a chance of maybe burying 2 behind the corners. Whereas the opposite side corners sort of block the entire way for your draw. I don't know that Hasselborg cares at this point that it blocks your draw. But the other problem is you're never going to get 2 rocks behind one of those 2 guards.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting. I think they called the freeze and that just came up late. But yeah, I agree with you. It's more of a question, I guess, in like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th end when you're calling it because you want to score 2. It's not necessarily that you need 3 like the situation Hasselborg is in.
Like say you had hammer 2 down playing the last end. So obviously you need at least 2. Yeah. But you're kind of pushing a bit for 3 because you know that if you do get 2, they have hammer in the extra.
Yeah.
I think maybe then you go for the stacked corners.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
But at this point, I think with the score, it's a bit of an irrelevant choice because you just need guards. Regardless of
yeah. Yeah, in this situation,
like even this center guard is. They came up short on the freeze, but you know it's fine. They can still guard. They
still helping.
Freeze to the top 4 rock.
Yeah, still helping. I agree. I just knew. I know. I read a stat that if you play the split corners early in games, you more often give up steals because you tend to be chasing, and if you don't make your runbacks or your freeze taps, you're going to give up a steal pretty quickly. Obviously, Anna doesn't care about giving up a steal right now. She wants to take 3 or lose, but yeah.
The one problem I think at this point is the fact that, say Duncan peels this center guard, which I'm assuming they will. It's kind of you're sort of moving everything to the middle, and then you've kind of lost that corner.
Yeah, that is the issue. I think they had no option after coming up late and throwing a center guard. Duncan's going to peel this center, I imagine. Anna Hasselborg's going to draw around her corner guard or maybe make another freeze.
This is close to flashing.
Very close.
So it stayed around. It's stuck around. It's
that's a miss. Yeah, that's a 0.
That's what you needed if you're Hasselborg because that's the only way you were going to get 3. So 3 is still in play.
Yeah, you need probably 2 more of those 0s.
You hit the double reds and you roll behind starting to look quite good for 3.
Yeah.
You obviously need cooperation for 3, but
yeah.
They don't come like you would want them to, but I would be looking at hitting the 2 reds and just rolling.
Yeah, it'd be nice to unlock those and roll. I mean, you have 2 corner guards now. Like, you've got to use them. You've got to bring them into play somehow.
It might touch the one on the button too.
Yeah, you need to bring those guards into play somehow, so you do have to make a hit. We do have another final on sheet 1. Xana Schwaller takes the win 6-4 over the Chinese team Han.
Yeah, they were 1 down playing the 8th end, and they scored a big 3.
That improves them to 3-1, and I would say most likely gives them a spot at least in the top 10. And for Han, that puts them at 0-4, so they will be they are eliminated.
You know if this Han, the Chinese team, was the one playing at the Pan-Continental?
Not 100% sure. I don't think they were. And unfortunately for Sarah, she hits and rolls out.
Yikes.
Yeah, really needed to keep the shooter there. I'm surprised they played enough weight that you could hit and roll out. But did only hit about a quarter of the rock.
It's been that kind of day where every break has been going to the Ontario team. They've played well, but they've also got the breaks on their side.
Yeah, Team Duncan has made the big shots when they needed to this game, and that's kind of been the main. They've gotten the right misses out of Hasselborg as well. So that's just kind of been the story of the game so far.
They've controlled the angles, and they've controlled sort of play in general from the beginning.
Yeah, they've played their style of curling. If you've ever watched Team Duncan play, they like to be aggressive. They like to put reds in good places and make really good freezes like they have all game, and that's what's won them the game so far, is that they haven't been chasing really at all. Team Hasselborg's been chasing all game long.
I guess playing from Ontario, you've seen them quite often.
Yeah. Yeah, I play beside them quite a bit. Yeah. They are seeded second in Ontario, and they have a spot in our provincial. Team Inglis being seeded first, with Team Holman having the wild card spot in Scotties.
I guess that's a really interesting year for the Ontario Scotties.
This rock's not quite curling up. I don't think it's going to touch the yellow very far. Does move it into the open, so it should be an open hit for Hollie Duncan. But yeah, it is an interesting year on the women's side, with Team Holman getting a bye to the Scotties taking a wild card spot. Gives opportunity.
That's the reason to begin with, where they changed the rules that the wild cards were going to be given at the end of the previous year.
Yeah.
This way you could sort of remove the top teams of the country and guarantee them a spot, and it sort of opens up all these other provinces that would normally maybe be like won by the top team very often.
Yeah, I really like it. I think it guarantees a strong field at the Scotties and Briar, but also you get to see new faces out of some provinces that you haven't seen yet, and gives those younger teams that may win some experience at the top level to earn points and to gain experience, because the future of curling in Canada needs to have some younger teams get more developed, because as soon as Gushu and Jones and Holman and everyone decide to step away from the game, it gets scary for Canadian curling, unless we start developing the younger teams.
Totally, I agree. Yeah. And I would add to that by changing the deadline for the wild cards, you're basically qualifying the same teams. But before, if you look at, say, this example, Ullman was guaranteed a spot anyways, because even if they were to lose the Ontario Scotties, they would have a spot anyways.
Yeah.
But they were sort of playing risk-free with everybody else trying to beat them, and obviously through the years they've not lost to Ontario Scotties very often.
They don't lose it often. No.
I don't know if they've ever lost it, really.
Hollie Duncan beat Rachel in the final 4 or 5 years ago now, 4 years ago now, something like that. But that's about it. You're right.
Yeah.
It's like playing. Yeah, you're playing with. It's.
I just like that.
It's like a free spot.
I just like that they moved to a format where every team that enters is obviously not guaranteed a spot, so everybody's playing for their lives. You know, I think we saw it in the men's side last year. There was a final in Manitoba where both teams were guaranteed anyways.
Yeah, that was happening.
So,
And
you know,
same with Rachel.
I know they want to win, but
yeah.
it's not the same type of pressure.
Nope, you're right. So I do like the change. Hollie Duncan, first rock in the 7th end, looking to eliminate the open yellow stone. Still a decent chance for 3 for Team Hasselborg. They need 2 perfect shots here. I think you need to make a yellow tap and then get a miss from Hollie Duncan and then make a double for 3.
How do you get 3 out of this? You need to sort of tap and get them all lined up to that other red?
Yeah, you need to make a tap and get a miss out of Team Duncan. The only issue with this is if you make the tap and Team Duncan's still sitting 2, you might see Hollie Duncan throw up a guard. And then,
isn't that the theme of the theme of the whole game so
yeah,
far?
that is. Yeah, and it's
they just lob a guard and then you got nothing?
Yeah, that's been the whole thing. So you almost have to sit at least first, or at least third and second and third shot after this, or second and fourth shot anyways.
It's looking like they're going to play a hit more than a tap.
Yeah, I think they went away from the tap.
They're essentially going to remove 1 red. But yeah, you're right. Like if they make it too good, where there's no shot to remove any yellow, which is hard to begin with, then you might just see Hollie Duncan lob a guard on center line, and then what do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Big sweep to get this past the red in the top 12.
It's over curling already.
Interesting situation. Looks like
I don't know that you need to do anything.
Yeah, Team Duncan sitting first, second, and fourth, it looks like. Pretty hard to tell, but it does look like that. I think you need to make a decision. Yeah, sorry. I think you need to make a decision. Is the triple there, which I don't think it is.
No, I don't think so either.
So why not just slap a guard on that yellow rock?
The other thing you could do is probably just peel it out, but then you give up maybe probably a shot for 2.
Yeah, if you play the peel, you probably give up a double. You could give up a double for 2, which, I mean, you're still in a great situation. You'll still be up 2 with. But, I mean, if you throw up a guard here, Team Hasselborg really only has the red-yellow double for 2. And even then, it's going to be hard to keep the shooter. Or keep the yellow in play for 2.
Yeah, I can hardly draw up a shot for 3 right now. Like,
I don't see a shot for 3 at all.
Yeah. Even for 2, it's hard.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe there's something with those guards. Could you run in the yellow corner guard into the red and make a triple somehow? I really don't see that either. Maybe run the yellow. No, that's just for 2 as well. So I do like this call a lot for Team Duncan. If this is made, Anna Hasselborg has no choice but to make the red-yellow triple for 2.
going for the easier shot, which is, if you look at the whole game, I think it's been the same kind of thing. Like Team Duncan has had the angles on their side, and they've just been playing the easier shot, whereas all the pressure has been on the Swedish team, and they've been having to make really precise shots. And when that happens, you know who's going to miss more.
Yeah. It's one of the most frustrating things in the game is chasing all game long. It can be so frustrating, and that's just what Team Hasselborg's been having to do after a few misses early in ends. So big sweep by Tess and Rachel to get this rock to curl to guard the yellow.
On the same side.
Yeah. Could be a little obsolete anyways. I don't think they had anything with that yellow to begin with.
Yeah. I think you need to run this at this point.
Yeah. You almost should have guarded the red-yellow for 2. I think that was the only shot.
I think so. I agree. I think that was the only thing I could drop even before they allowed that guard. So.
Yeah.
Well, this is to keep playing.
Yeah, it looks like a just off nose. You need to cross it a little bit to touch both reds.
But then if you cross it, then that red rock starts getting closer and closer to the forefoot.
It's a very tough shot.
Shot of the game if they make it, for sure.
Yeah, Anna Hasselborg's last rock in the 7th end to keep their playoff hopes alive. Looks close. It's only going to be 1 yellow.
That should do it, probably, eh?
Yeah, I imagine this should be handshakes being down 3 without.
Don't think you'll steal 3 very often to a team that's playing pretty well.
Yeah, team discussion. They're talking about the last shot, I think. They're not even talking about if they're playing. And that's going to be it for us at Sheet 2 at the Nutrien Egg Solutions Western Showdown. Team Duncan takes the win over Team Hasselborg, keeping their playoff hopes alive. I'm Sam Steep, joined by Felix Aslan. Thanks for commentating with me, Felix.
Hey, thanks to you, Sam. It was a great first experience. First time I ever did this, and I kind of enjoyed myself.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.